Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Faith Chiri, and today I'm going to take you through day 4 on what you need to do when you arrive in Australia as an international student. I'm kindly asking you to subscribe to my channel, comment on this video, like it, and share to your friends and family members whom you think they will benefit from this video. Before I dive into what you need to do, I would like to recommend that those people who have done hospitality and catering services back in Kenya, you are so much in demand in Australia. Kindly make your application if you are in a position to do so and come to Australia, because you are in high demand. Apart from those who are in healthy field, also the chefs, those who are in catering services, hospitality services, you can come here because you are so much in high demand. The first thing that you need to do on day 4 is to apply for your photo identification card. It is always called photo ID when you come here. And photo ID is always applied in the transport and maintenance and road maintenance department. So you will have to move to the nearest transport and road maintenance department, wherever you will be living, wherever the suburb. If you will be staying in school accommodation, just Google using the Google Maps where any of such department is near you. So when you are going to apply for your photo identification, you are going to carry 4 things. The first thing is your PAN card. So as I mentioned earlier, when you come from Kenya, make sure you come with at least 1 PAN card, so that when you apply for 2 Australian PAN cards, the first one which comes earlier, you will use that one with a Kenyan PAN card to apply for your photo ID. So in this case, if you have 1 Kenyan PAN card and 1 Australian PAN card, then you will need your proof of address of wherever you are living and your passport. Those are 4 requirements. So you will need your passport, your Kenyan PAN card, your Australian PAN card, or you will need 2 Australian PAN cards if you have them, and a proof of proof of your address. So when you have this proof of address, you go to that department and make sure in your card you have at least 79 Australian dollars, because it always comes with a cost. When you are applying for a photo ID, you will need approximately $75, but because of the transaction cost, kindly make sure you have around $79 when you are going for that application. And most people will ask, what is photo ID? So photo ID is just like the Kenyan ID. Yeah, I know anybody who is over 18 years has a Kenyan ID. And so it is similar as that Kenyan ID. When you have the photo ID, you may not need to work along with your passport anymore. They will use that to apply for several other things. For example, when you are buying a car and you want to apply for car registration, you will just use the photo ID rather than going with your passport. Or if you need any other service from the Australian government, you will just use your photo ID because it contains most of your details rather than working along with your passport. Photo ID will take approximately a maximum of 21 days for it to arrive to your place, or for you to acquire it fully and have a physical ID. So that is why I'm saying in your day 4, make sure you apply for this photo ID, because afterwards, that is 21 days, is like after a month of you being around Australia. So make sure you apply for it as early as you receive your PAN card, your Australian PAN card. So the second thing is to apply for your police clearance. Most people will ask, why should I apply for police clearance? When you're applying for your jobs, most of the requirements of your job is police clearance. And it is done online. They will only require some details about you and some documents. And one of the main documents is your passport, and any other document, the likes of PAN card, the likes of birth certificate. But because you are coming from Kenya, and they always need approximately, actually above 100 points. So I will recommend you to apply with your passport and your birth certificate, because the two as points of 70 each, which will add up to 140 points. So if you have your passport and your birth certificate, you are good to go. Also, make sure you have approximately $42 in your PAN card, because you are going to pay for your police clearance, going for $42. And this amount is paid online, so you will have to use your PAN card number to pay for that police clearance. Another thing is to continue applying for jobs. Remember, you arrived in day 1, you have been doing a job application from day 1 all along to day 4. Don't give up. Apply for jobs as much as you can. Apply for those jobs. Let them call you for different interviews, because as I mentioned earlier, you are more likely to apply for over 200 jobs. But a few companies or a few employers will call you for the interview. Not all employers who call you for the interview will process you into being an employee of their company. So make sure you apply for several jobs as much as you can, so that whatever the job that comes earlier, that is what you are going to select. Whoever the employer that takes you early, that is what you will take. Okay, so the more you apply for higher number of jobs, it puts you in a position whereby you are able to select from different jobs. When you attend interview, you are able to read their requirements, their job description, their pay rates, and from there, because you have several selections to make from, you are able to select the best job that pays you well and provide a conducive working environment. Check for different types of accommodation. I know when you are coming here as an international student, your aim is to have a shared accommodation. That is what most of us begin from. Shared accommodations are good, yep. They are nice because they almost have everything that you need. It has the cookers, it has the washing machine, the likes of the fridge, your different bedroom. Maybe you will just have to share the toilet, the bathroom, and the kitchen. But when you come here, come with the mind of staying in a shared accommodation first, because that is where you will interact with different people who have been into Australia, and that is where you will learn a lot from them, rather than you moving into your own room, or rather your own house, which is still expensive. Coming here as an international student, everything is kind of expensive. So if you pay for your own room, it might go for not less than $500 per week, which is quite expensive. But if you stay in a shared accommodation, it costs between $150 to approximately $250 per week, which is quite affordable for students. So it is upon you to select the type of accommodation to go. But I would highly recommend that you stay in a shared accommodation for the first few weeks, or the first 1 month, or even the first 2 months of moving out from your host place, because this will enable you to access all the necessary resources that you need in a house. And also it gives you a space to interact with people and learn more as much as you can. One thing I've come to realize here is the more you interact with people, the more you learn about different types of jobs, how you can cope with stresses, because my friend, when you come here, it is all about hard work. It is not about working smart, it is hard work. You have to go to the workplace, you have to walk. I mean, you just work like a zombie. You might have less than 5 hours of rest in a day, and you keep on moving, because you have to pay for your bills, you have to pay for your school fees, you have to pay for your everything. Yeah. And so asking you to check for accommodations in different types of applications, the likes of Facebook, the likes of Cabtree, the likes of Flatmates. Just check on different types of accommodation and how they look like, and from your pocket you can easily tell which one you can afford. So the ones you can afford, you can easily apply from that app. You book for inspection of the house. If you have time, go check on that room. If you are comfortable with that and you have money, you can move into your room by that time. You can pay and move. Something to note about accommodations in Australia, just like Kenya, where we always pay for, is it the bond? So it is famously known as, what do we call in Kenya? Okay, it's bond. So you have to pay for your rent and also pay for some sort of installment to ensure assure your landlord or your landlady that you're going to stay here and you are not going to damage anything in their house. When you are applying for this accommodation, have in mind that you will have to pay your rent and to pay your bond. You will find someone who will tell you you have to pay a bond of 2 weeks. That means a double of your rent plus your rent. So for the first time you are moving in, if your rent is supposed to be $180 per week, that means you will pay a bond of $360 and plus $180 for your 1 week rent. Someone else will tell you you will have to pay a bond of 4 weeks and pay a rent of 1 week during the first week of getting into the house. So come knowing that you have to pay a bond here as well as your rent. Yeah. So when you are coming in Kenya, kindly budget for your accommodation very well. Yeah, this is something I need to remind everyone. Accommodation, especially if you're coming to Queensland, accommodation is something else. It is not easy to find accommodation. So make sure when you're coming here, beba pesa vizuri. Kwanza za accommodation, usitumie pesa sana along the way when you are traveling, when you're having flights. Don't use your money. Ama usitumie pesa sana buying a lot of things that is maybe the likes of nguo pale Kenya, and you are using a lot of money buying the likes of electronics, badala ya kusave pesa for you to come and pay for your accommodation or something close to that. And also I need to remind you that if you are financially stable, if your parents are good or you are good by yourself, you have some savings, good savings, kindly come with some money to buy a car. Because the earlier you have the car, the better. You are able to do different types of jobs, different kinds of shifts per day. That means high amount of money at the end of the day. Yeah, but if you don't have money, if you are struggling to raise your fees, you are struggling to raise your accommodation to come here, don't worry. You just come the way you are. You will come, work hard for the first 1 month. That is when maybe utapata pesa ya kutosha, you buy a second-hand car and move on with life. That is how we do things. But if you are in a better position to have a good amount of money, kama 200,000 to 300,000 ya kununua gari, just come with that money. A car is very essential to you when you are in Australia. Hawezi fanya kazi mbili ama tatu without a car. You really need that car to move from one place to another. Because unaweza pata you have a job but ni 15 kilometers away from you or 30 minutes drive away from you. So kama uko na jobs mbili of such, how will you manage? Ni ngumu. That means if you don't have a car, you will have to maybe work for one job. Unategemea Uber, which is costly, going for $20. Maybe kama una move asubuhi ama usiku for that shift. When you are coming back, utatumia bus which can take up to 1 hour to reach your destination. That is all I have today. I'm still kindly requesting you to subscribe to my channel, to like this video, to comment and to share as much as you can to your friends, your family members and each and everyone that you know. Thank you very much for listening to me today, and see you again in our day 5 video. See you.